Sorry, my wife was doing some IT for me.
Oh, you're good. Wow, your room looks way cooler than ours.
No, you have a Banksy poster.
Oh yeah, I got the Banksy. I like yours though.
Oh, thank you. I've got the Shepherd Ferry one back there.
Very nice.
That is.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Sure. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. So our podcast is about your guys' journey in the music industry and starting TELYKast and, where you guys are at today.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So cool. Did you guys all grow up in LA?
So I grew up in LA. They actually grew up in different places.
Yeah, I grew up in New York City.
New York, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm from Dallas, so we kind of cover the whole world.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
the whole U.S.
Sorry, not the world. One day, the whole world.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, Trevor, you grew up in LA.
Yeah. So
tell me about that.
I mean, I love it here. It's kind of a catch-22 because I have no reason to leave,
Sure. Yeah, I'm in San Diego, so I get it.
Yeah, I've been here my whole life, and I just hear everyone that comes here saying this place is amazing, and I do think it's amazing. So it's so I don't really have a reason to leave. That's the only thing that I would like to venture out, I guess, too, but. Sure. Music is here and everything, so I've just always been here. But I've always loved it too, and I love the beach and everything too. So,
How did you get into music originally?
So I started playing in bands. I started playing guitar when I was 9 years old. So that was kind of where
wow.
It all started. But then in my teenage years, I started playing in bands and stuff like that. So my band played Warped Tour and kind of all the venues.
Wow.
Yeah, all the venues in LA, at the time, Knitting Factory and the Whiskey A Go-Go and literally everything on the Sunset Strip. We were the Motley Crue special basically, but
that's rad.
Yeah,
wow. So you guys are pretty successful. You guys were doing obviously something.
Yeah, we were definitely doing some stuff. We recorded at Capitol Records and stuff like that. It was going well, and then how bands sometimes just kind of fall apart. So
yeah. Well, you guys are signed to Capitol now, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Full circle.
Full circle for you. Yeah. That's cool.
Kind of weird.
Rad. Linus, how'd you get into music?
So I grew up in New York City, right off Central Park.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so my parents were Juilliard parents, and that's how I got into music. A violin was placed in my hand when I was 4. My older brother was bigger than me, so a cello was placed in his hand.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I was thrown into that at a really young age. And I played Suzuki violin for 8 years from 4 to 12. And I picked up guitar. And I played blues pretty much until college where I picked up jazz, but what?
Wow. Did you Oh no, were you in the school orchestra and stuff?
Nah, not really. I was an athlete, actually. I travel the world as a platform diver and a springboard.
Oh, wow.
Diver. Yeah. And did that for up until college. I got into Indiana for with a full scholarship to Indiana for diving.
Wow.
And then I injured myself and was I put 10,000 hours into that. I'd always been playing music, so let me start putting 10,000 hours into guitar. At that time, I was guitar, I've always played it. That's what I'm going to do. And then in the jazz program, you find out pretty quickly how many guitarists there are that are better than you. So I was all right, I always loved Hendrix, and I thought Hendrix used the technology at the time to kind of be an innovator. That's what he's known for, was using feedback better than everyone at the time, and using the electric guitar. So I said, okay, well, let me get into production. That's kind of the technology of the time, and let me figure out how to do next level stuff with guitar and production, which launched me into production. And at the end of college, my buddy was working for this group, Cruella, and said, hey,
oh, I know that. I've heard that name for sure.
Back in the day. So she said, you got to get out to LA and go to this school called Icon Collective. That'll teach you how to produce really well. I was already producing hip hop stuff, and I had a residency in a kind of jazz fusion from
Wow.
a pop band in Indiana at like one of the biggest bars there. But yeah, then I decided to, again, like Trevor said, with bands, they fall apart.
Sure. Well, you
Figured.
got
At the
into
time,
yeah.
Yeah.
You got into
we
the
were just kids, crazy kids running around.
True.
You guys are in it for the long haul here.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've grown a
Yeah.
lot since then.
Definitely.
Sure. Well,
And we've experienced it, so
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Linus, you said you got into the jazz program. Did you have to jazz musicians are, next
Yeah,
level.
I pretty
Did
much
you have
was
to audition to get into that and all
yeah,
that?
so what I did was I knew how to build all the chords on piano. I really knew how to build all the inversions and do all the voice leading. And I was like, I want to learn how to do that on guitar, on the fretboard. I just had one of those aha moments, and the fretboard opened up, and I understood it more, but I really wanted to know all the ins and outs.
Sure.
So I didn't graduate from the jazz program at all. I spent like 2 weeks in it. I learned all of how to build like the different concepts, like the raise 2, raise 3 concept, and how to build all the different voicings, and how pretty much like the anatomy of the fretboard, how there's a way it works, and there's a way to figure out different chords, and then they said,
the theory behind it, kind of.
Yeah, the theory behind the fretboard. There's like music theory, which is like that's
notes and stuff. Yeah,
the theory behind the fretboard is kind of like each guitar string is a piano, whatever. But yeah, so they said, here's the real book, which is like 1,000 jazz standards, and I was like, you know what? I want to go make beats with my buddies. But you tell me what I need to know, so thanks.
Sure, that's awesome. What about you, Kyle? How'd you get into music?
So I have like a kind of funny story. I grew up with, my parents had really insane taste in music, so I always had good taste in music, but I never got into it until when I was 13. I was playing ice hockey my whole life. I went to Sweden. I heard dance music for the first time, and I was like, holy crap, this is like the coolest thing ever. And
okay.
Still after that, my whole goal was to be a pro hockey player, so I never really had time to like go into it fully, but I was super passionate about it. And then when I was 18, 19, I had a career-ending injury, which I can't play sports anymore because of it. And that was when I was kind of like, it was taken like on the blink of an eye. So I was really confused, and like I was like, I have all the time in the world, I'm gonna do this music thing. And before that, I'd been DJing a lot, but it was actually, like Linus mentioned, the school that we both attended, we were partnered as random roommates because we both, coming from sports backgrounds, we both had injuries. And so they thought we would be a good fit. And then from day one, we kicked it off, and it's kind of like the rest is history.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Cool. And then how'd you guys grab Trevor here and start the band?
So when we finished school, it was probably, like a year and a half?
Yeah, a year and a half after.
We had been, we literally lived across the street from school. So we had like so many producers. It's like a producer frat house living in this apartment.
Pretty much.
And Trevor was working down the street at a studio, which Linus ended up meeting him at, and it was like kind of similar styles from day one. They were like, Linus could elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, coming from being completely misunderstood in production school, because I came from the Beatles and stuff like that. That's what I loved.
Yeah.
So I was like, where's the pop music in this? Where's the writing? Where are the songs, right? And
it was super electronic driven.
Yeah, it was
like
straight.
Music,
yeah, exactly. Which is good. It got the production chops like crazy. But I was making like guitar pop electronic music, and people were like, it's not. It doesn't slam you in the face. It's not that cool. And then so I was like, dang, I really wish I had a session with this kid who was a guitarist, and I was like, dude, it'd be sick to find like another guitarist that's also a producer. And literally the next week I met Trevor, and he had heard some of the stuff that I had made, and that we were making, and then I that day that I met him, someone was playing me this stuff, and I was like, bro, this is not you, because I knew the kid, and I was like, this sounds sick. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually doing it with my boy Trevor. And I was like, yeah, let's link.
Yeah.
And really, from minute one, we were like, "Oh, what's up?" Because I was like a bedroom producer, you know.
we met each other and just like did like the head nod, and immediately we're just like boys after that, you know.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things. I don't know. It was just like immediately we just like hit it off, and then we started producing this girl Lauren Bennett's project like the next day. Linus was like, "Yo, you want to squat on this project?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then he showed me the TELYKast stuff, and I was like, "Yo, this is so sick! Like, I think we can do something like really dope here." Especially with us both playing guitar and like making it more of like a band vibe, which is like something that wasn't being done in electronic at the time, especially that could really make us like stand out. So now people are starting to do it, which is actually good because
it's helping kind of shape our vision because it's getting more accepted by other people doing it. Like Chainsmokers have a really cool thing going, but even for us, it's like everything we do is internally. So like we don't need to bring an outside guitarist, or we don't need to bring an outside drummer, or like whatever. It's like very like pushing the scene forward with our group.
Yeah, really that band like mentality and band vibe, which was really cool when we all met. I think that's also what clicked, and just all of our different all the different things that we were good at that like we could play off each other's strengths. It's really good.
And cool. I really think that, you know, especially that it's coming around now, we've had around 5 years or 4 years to cultivate it when it kind of was misunderstood at first. Instead of being someone who can hop on a bandwagon and make something that's already being heard, like we've already gone through so much stuff that, you know, has been heard and been done to get to, you know, a new kind of point.
Yeah.
That's fun. So.
Was it hard, Trevor, to like switch like mentality as far as like writing like songs, you know, like I mean I'm guessing if you're in like a band that was playing Warped Tour and those clubs, it's probably more of like a rock or alt band. Is it hard to write for like more of the electronic sound?
It's kind of interesting for me because like even though it was rock and stuff, I was still and I've always been all about like the melody and stuff like that. So it's like, and I take a lot of stuff I think from guitar because like I started playing guitar. So it's like a lot of it is like pentatonic kind of melodies and stuff like that. And I think a lot of like that at the time, like of the Warped Tour bands and stuff, you know, you had like Escape the Fate and like Avenged Sevenfold and those kind of people, which were still like very melodic. And so I think like the writing style actually translated perfectly into this like realm because it's still all about just the melodies and like having those catchy choruses and everything. So I think it like translated perfectly. I think Daylight's like a good example where it's like it's still, you know, it's still poppy, but like it just the melodies are classic kind of melodies, you know. It could work for any genre, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Yeah. I think like you said, the guitar element and just like the live feel of it, I think is so different than what everyone else is doing.
Yeah,
when they just when they just produce something like in Logic and make their own voice over it or whatever. But like what you guys are doing with the live guitars and everything, it's just a whole
and that's like how it always starts with like the songwriting process too. You know, it's like a guitar and like a vocal or like a piano and a vocal, and it's very just like intimate like that. And I think that's like what helps the song really like get across.
That was what I was going to ask you. So you do still sit down and write on like an acoustic guitar, and a piano. It's not.
Yeah, that's like the bulk of what we do. A lot of our songs were written just like that, just like me and Linus on a guitar or something, or vice versa, and keys, and then
or bass even.
Or even when we're in songwriting sessions, sometimes we're just like, "Yo, let's get this song right over like the chords," and if that can work, then the production is just like the cherry on top, you know. Then we end up doing the whole production anyways. Exactly. Like one day. But you know, that idea is like our like mindset of it. Like, you know, like if the song speaks over like just the chords or just a guitar or something, then it's good. You know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So what was the first song you guys worked on together, like as a collective?
So you and I actually, and it's crazy because that song got like 13 million on YouTube, I think. It came out through Trap Nation. But that was kind of when we were like, all right, I think we got something here. Yeah. I'm like,
this looks like it's working.
Cool, yeah.
So the first song you guys put out, 13 million?
That was kind of the thing.
I think it has 5 or 6 million on
really
Spotify.
Good luck with even like when it was just Linus and I, the first thing like
Oh,
went
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Like there's a Cascade remix,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and like
Oh wow.
I think we've just been very smart in terms of like knowing what would work, and then also like we're very big on like putting our releases in the spot to have the best chance of doing well. And at the time, Trap Nation was like our apex goal for getting on. So it was just really cool to see all that work.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
what's so great about all of us working together is like, we'll make like the music or whatever, but then we always have this thing as well is like, how can we get the music out there marketing wise and
Yeah.
stuff? And Kyle's like such
This
a
kid's a
genius with that
genius.
stuff. So it's like,
He knows about virality.
That's cool. That's a great skill to have.
It's invaluable.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
no, totally.
Dude, you know
It's
the
all
amount
needed.
of times that artists are like, hey, how do you get this going, or how do you push this independently, because all this was independent before
That's so
Astralwerks.
crazy. Yeah.
So it's like, I'm like, oh, dude, I feel for you because this is the guy,
Ask him.
yeah. And he was
Wow.
giving away his secrets.
Yeah, totally. Why would you? Well, you said the first thing that you guys put out together without Trevor, you had Cascade remix
No,
it.
it was
Cascade remix.
It was like a remix.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, that's just like a testament.
now we have an actual song with Cascade.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did see that you do have a song with Cascade.
Everything's coming full
Yeah.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So okay, that's awesome. So did you guys like once you started putting stuff together? Like, how did you start getting Cascade? And I saw the different people to feature on your songs.
So we had like actually a really proper intro to him, and we had like a few things that we thought would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually, remember, we were hesitant
Yeah.
to send this song that ended up being the one he chose. And
Yeah.
it was just crazy for me, especially because that was like one of the first people I saw right when I turned 18. And that dude, like literally the next day I went and bought like all the DJ equipment and like told my parents, I was like, whatever I saw last night literally changed my life. I was like,
I don't know what it was.
It's always super sick. I don't know
I can
what
see
it
you.
was.
I can see you
but-
already in the lights. Just like.
that was all.
That's cool. Wow. So how is that? I mean, that must have been a really a full circle once again experience for you then,
Yeah.
Kyle. If you went and saw him at 18 and now he's working on one of your guys' tracks, that's crazy.
It was really cool.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy how fast that kind of happened too. It was really, really great.
Yeah.
Wow. And have you guys been playing out around LA and stuff, or were you guys doing that early on?
We had some
a
pretty good
few,
shows.
but it's kind of just with everything going on right now been put on hold. That's just
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
been a little
totally.
weird with how well Daylight's doing. It's like you can't really capitalize on anything except like on the social side of
Yeah.
things. There are like a few virtual festivals.
Yeah, we've been doing some of the
But-
virtual ones, which have been.
I
dope.
did see that on your Instagram. That's cool.
Yeah.
We're really stoked to play.
Yeah,
we've
to
been
play.
working on the live stuff a lot.
That's like our favorite thing. So
Yeah,
the performance.
for sure.
With the virtual stuff, do you guys play like a live set together?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
did you do like strip down?
No, we did a lot of live stuff. We did DJ mixes into this live stuff with me playing guitar, Trevor singing, Trevor playing guitar.
Yeah,
both of us.
That's
playing
rad.
guitar.
So like full on, yeah, like
Yeah,
a
we
full
pretty
show.
much did what
it
we
wasn't
would do.
full on because like we didn't incorporate keys fully or like key bass
Drum pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've done that at Exchange LA
Mhm.
where we had a packed house there where we had the drum pads and double guitars and soloing over drops and doing our thing, Trevor singing. But yeah, we've been working towards that a lot during this whole quarantine.
Yeah, we've been kind of honing in on that and putting together our live set and just fine tuning everything.
Yeah.
Which has been good.
We're ready.
Yeah,
ready.
getting ready to
Just waiting for
go,
it.
go ham.
Yeah. I know, man. It's so terrible that like this whole thing has happened to where nobody can collectively gather, especially for artists and
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
I
just
think it's tough too because there's so many different opinions on when things are gonna happen.
right.
It's from like a year away to like a few
Yeah.
months away to like I just don't even
everything
know
is
what
just
to
so up in the air. It's kind
believe.
of hard to
So yeah.
navigate.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to talk to you guys about this TikTok dance challenge that you guys have kind of created. Is there like a dance or something? You've done something with TikTok,
there's been a
right?
few. Yeah, so that was actually how
Two
Daylight
challenges.
really caught wind originally. Is we were like very aware of the platform because Trevor had just produced a big TikTok song for someone else, and
Take
no
Your
one
Man.
in our lane.
What was it called? Sorry.
It's called Take Your Man.
Okay. Was it
Mahogany Locks.
Mahogany Locks? Cool.
Yeah.
I'll
So
look it
we
up.
were like aware of the power of it because that was how the song blew up, and so then once we got it out and got it going, it really just kind of caught fire. And yeah, there's been a few trends. The dance one was one, but also now there's this crazy one where it's like people, it's like if I woke up in my friends' bodies and then they just like throw shots at my friend. It's
They
like,
kind
if
of
I woke
roast
up
their
in
friend a
Trevor's
little bit.
body, I would like, you know what,
Yeah.
like cut my hair, or like, you know, it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
take shots. It's
Yeah.
really cool though because people are getting creative, and I don't know, that we're obsessed with the app. It's literally so cool.
Yeah.
Like you
It's-
convert fans like crazy from it,
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It's really dope.
That's cool. I mean, I haven't got on it yet. I have a 12-year-old son that's it's his life. If he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
playing Fortnite, he's, going through
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But it's so wild to see the amount of artists and songs that are just blowing up because of that
Yeah.
app.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's really powerful. I don't know. I mean, I guess every once in a while something like this like comes about, but I feel like this is just like such a insane opportunity for
Yeah.
artists to
There's
really
nothing,
Mhm.
there's
capitalize
been
on.
nothing like it, in my opinion, since
Yeah.
SoundCloud. Because
Yeah.
SoundCloud at its
Yeah.
peak was like the way to convert fans.
Yep.
Because you could,
Yeah.
The
you
gates
could
and
gate
everything.
them to your
Yeah.
other socials and like in
Mhm.
exchange for the song. But then when Spotify was like the focal point, it's like people are passively listening to those songs. They're not really looking at you as an
The
artist.
fan conversion
Yeah.
isn't really
So
there.
just because
Yeah,
you have
real
100
fan
million
conversion.
songs or 100 million streams on a song doesn't mean you could sell out a 300 cap room. It's like very
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
The amount of fans we've gained from Daylight alone is like
Just from
it's
TikTok and
insane.
stuff is
yeah,
like,
it's really cool.
yeah.
that's rad. That's
It's cool
yeah.
to see the translation in like real time, you know?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Like,
It's organic in like a virtual world.
yeah.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, so you guys are gaining
SoundCloud
like
really was the only other time.
yeah, because at the time SoundCloud was like the Wild West with like people doing
Yeah.
remixes and just doing whatever they wanted.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and it's
yeah.
the demographic.
You could capitalize
the
on
type of
so many
people.
different things.
Yeah.
The
then
people
they-
that want to go to it,
Uh-huh.
to find your stuff, then we'll go to other platforms.
Sure. So you
Yeah.
feel that way with TikTok? You think the fans are
I mean, yeah.
definitely
it doesn't
being
lie. The
You can
proof is
just
in the
see
pudding.
it.
And
You
you
know?
can see that it's
Yeah.
like all demographics, like people our age, older, but also like the new people who are going to support you for the long run, which
Mm-hmm.
I think is so valuable because a lot of these people like don't have that fan base, and to us we're trying to appeal to everyone, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the streaming, you can just, you're seeing people go to whatever platform like they listen on and stream it there, you know? And it's
Yeah.
just like,
That's
you can see it,
cool.
just the conversion. It's really great.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
because
dope.
you're spot on. I mean, Kyle, when you said that, like you could have a song with 100 million streams, but that doesn't mean anyone's gonna go see you. They can just go, "Oh, I really like that one song," or they don't
Yeah,
might not even
exactly.
know the
They'll hear
artist.
it.
They might not even know the
They'll
artist.
hear
it
A lot
and
of
be
times
like,
they
"Oh, that's
won't.
them."
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Oh yeah, I've heard that song. Oh, it's those guys. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spend $25 to go see him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'm
I've
not
heard-
gonna go check
I've
out
heard
their
that
stuff.
literally exact thing from like a few different people where they're like, "Oh yeah, I know this song, but I don't, like who's the artist?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, just like it's weird.
They know like
this-
every word, but like they don't know
Yeah.
the artist.
yeah, the
interesting. Yeah.
the new world of like singles is so interesting to me.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so interesting.
The thing with that too is all based on Spotify because it's like everyone thinks that if they release a body of work, they can't get it supported on Spotify because Spotify will only support one or two
Yeah.
tracks at a time. So it's like very
You can't get your whole
Convoluted,
album
yeah.
on like a playlist, you know? Like
Right.
it's just won't
Right,
happen. So
yeah.
It's like almost like you don't want to do that because you won't get as many streams. So it's
and the attention span is
Yeah.
just like a millisecond these days. So
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, because people, especially like you said, a full album, people are just gonna put one song on their playlist and then that's it. And now you have this whole record. Maybe one song has 50,000 plays and then the rest have 1,000 or 3,000 or
But
whatever.
if you do it's in singles, you can get each one on playlist, etc. And it's like
yeah.
way more lucrative. But just kind of weird that that's like the way that it works.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
lucrative, but does that? Well, what's the thing?
Yeah, it's funny how like certain platforms get like they're like the gold standard. Like Spotify is like the one, or like it was YouTube for a while, and then like Instagram. If you have like that's what people go to. Oh, okay, you have that many followers. Okay, that's cool then. But
Yeah.
like
Facebook likes.
Yeah, right. Now
Facebook likes back in the day.
or Twitter followers. Like now, it's like, does anyone even care about that anymore? It's more
now it's TikTok, I guess.
TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, I mean, even Instagram's kind of going the route of what Facebook kind of did when Instagram came around. It's crazy.
It's
What a-
really
It's
weird,
nuts.
man.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
really crazy.
fun when things come that are new. That I just feel like it's like
New opportunity.
it's like Lewis and Clark. Like
navigating the new
Yeah.
waters. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it really is. Like one artist will take off, and then they'll 5 similar ones will follow that will kind of probably just trickle out, and then that one person that did.
Also,
it'll be
it's
huge.
like the demographic, like you're saying. It's like those fans that are they're gonna be fans as they grow up. It's not like some cheap college kid all the time.
right. Yeah,
Who's
like
gonna sneak in your show, not pay.
that's funny. I saw that you had Geordie feature on one of your guys' songs. I interviewed him for the podcast. He's a really cool guy.
Nice. He's
Yeah,
super
that's
cool. Yeah.
How did you guys meet him and connect with him?
That was our
That was
manager.
true,
Yeah, one of our managers.
yeah, he knew his manager, and
We had a song
had a song that we needed to get someone else to record.
to cut, and
Uh-huh.
he was perfect for it. So we
Yeah,
got
he came
him in
into the studio like the next day, and we like
Cut
rocked
it.
the whole
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
And we were super impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's cool.
Right.
That's
I remember we did the ad libs, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy crap!"
Yeah. Everything that's at the
I
end
was
of
like,
that.
yeah, everything. If you listen to that song, everything at the end, all those ad libs, it's like one take, and I was just like,
Yeah.
"Damn, I gotta
Super
figure out
musical kid.
what are we gonna keep and get rid of. I don't want to get rid of too many of these. They were all really good." So.
That's awesome. Do you guys have like a full body workout yet? Like a full EP or?
I mean, we have more than enough songs.
I did notice that. Like I'm looking at your
Yeah.
Spotify, and like you'll have a song, and then there'd be a bunch of remixes of it, but I don't see like a.
Well, even like we work on songs pretty much every day, especially during the
Yeah.
quarantine. So
We kind of go the singles route, like you're saying, for
Sure.
that reason that we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
honestly. It's like we have a lot of songs. We could do an EP or multiple EPs or an album at this point, but it's just kind of
yeah.
what's going to make the most sense in terms of releasing them.
Also,
right
we
now.
kind of like really think we all have this shared ear for like hits. We want hits, So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it could be. I always thought that was interesting when people would be like, yeah, it's like definitely an album cut. I'm like, cool, but don't you still want everything to be a hit?
Yeah.
Like-
Right.
Yeah. We try to not have any album cuts.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're like 21 Pilots, Blurry Face, I mean, every track on that record is like platinum hit.
Crazy.
But
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of people that can do that. Like you said, I don't want an album cut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
That's
it
great.
is interesting, maybe eventually. They'll do
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
It's definitely
I for
in the
sure want to
cards,
do an
yeah.
album soon, very soon.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was just
like
curious.
a lockout
Just
space,
strategically
you know?
releasing right now is kind of what we've been doing, and really like doing it with a strategy in mind
Sure.
of like what sound we want to go with now and in the future and everything like that. So
Very cool.
we think
Well-
it's really important.
Well, how did you guys get picked up by Capitol?
So that
We-
was a crazy
yeah.
thing.
I want to hear this story.
A little, like half to the full circle. So we like had this over like the last 2 years. I'd say there was like a few things that we made that we loved, but the feedback we always got was that they didn't fit in either pop or dance. It was like very like in the middle,
Yeah.
which is good.
But
Right.
also
Kind
for
of
the
like-
time, it's
yeah.
like, where do we go with this?
Yeah.
The tail end of this future-based stuff, kind of like we already had a huge electronic act break, like Chainsmokers as a pop
Right.
act. So like, where's the middle
Kind of just
ground?
finding our sound, basically.
So it's like once we sent those tracks, they were like, we love this stuff, and they're like, we want to keep our eyes on it. And when Daylight came out, which was about 6 or 8 months later, there was like 1 week where I think everyone was hitting us up, and like it was just crazy because we were like, wow, okay, like we're like it's go time, like it's time to get like going with this and find a home finally, and that was always where we wanted to be. So the day they reached out, it was like no matter what, we kind of
knew that we wanted to go with them. They were it's like you said, we were talking to them already like 6 months before that, and we had already met a lot of them and just kind of loved the team over there and stuff like that. And like obviously everything that they're doing is great with all the artists that they have, so they're kind of on the top of our list. So then when they reached out, we were like, all right, let's do this.
Had you ever been? Oh, you said, Trevor, that you had been to Capitol before for your old band.
Yeah, and we had gone to Capitol as well for an event. Like that was actually when we kind of met a couple of the people over there at Astralwerks, and that's when we were like, okay, we feel like this would be a great fit for us. Yeah. So I think they kind of had their eye out, and then Daylight started, going well and everything, and so it all worked out really well.
Very cool. What are the, like, after getting signed to Capitol, do you have what are the plans now? Did they change it all?
No,
I think so.
Yeah, keep making good music.
We just really want to keep pushing Daylight, and then we have like hundreds of songs. So it's now just figuring out what's next and like strategically planning it
and releasing
we have
them.
Pretty good idea.
We have some cool stuff that's coming out pretty soon, but
it's just
really
keeping the momentum going.
Exactly.
So they didn't
with the perfect team.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Just having the extra oomph behind it is really good.
Very cool, man. Well, I really appreciate your guys' time today. Like,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I have one more question. I want to know if you guys have any advice for aspiring artists.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I got some right off the bat.
You can run it down.
Yeah, I would say find your team in the very beginning and stick with that fucking team. No new friends. That's like, I hate to say that Drake line, but it's so real. Like, it's been the three of us. It's been me and Kyle, then the three of us for, I don't even know, 6 years. And only us, and that's the only way. And we've been through everything, Mm-hmm. But it's like, that's the only way that I would have it, honestly. So that's what I would say. And make music every fucking day. The music comes first.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, your team, I think, is like the most important, and I think even for us, it took a while for us to find our managers and our agents and our lawyer's super important, by the way, but like that might be the first person that you want to find, because they'll be no BS with you and like really help you navigate these confusing waters of music. Legalities of everything is super important. So I say find a lawyer is like first step, but just it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, you gotta reach out and talk to a lot of people and like gain trust and everything, and that takes time. But finding your team is like super important, because like you can't really do it alone. You need help, and like you're gonna bring value to other people and they're gonna bring value to you. So
I think just always like try not to overthink things, because I feel like that's a lot of people's demise, is like they never put things out because they're thinking too hard about it, but you never know what's gonna work. So I think especially in the early stages, just keep throwing paint at the wall. And then like we said, like the team thing is so important, but also just like as long as you're continuing to go in an upwards trajectory, that's all you can ask for. And celebrate the little victories, because you'll be very upset if you don't.
Exactly.
There's always a higher level.
You'll always be pissed. No, that's really real.
Throw paint at the wall. That's probably the best.
That's really good.
There's been times where me and Linus are like, "Oh, what did we put out? Like, it's so bad."
Dude, every time,
and then
like
we get tons of opportunities from that thing, and then we're like, "Oh, okay, sick."
Like sometimes I'll be like, "Dude, to everyone, like I was like, this is so sick," and then like it didn't get pushed the right way, and the other people on their team botched it or whatever.
Just keep pushing through, though.
Exactly.
Bring it back.